I had to restart. Okay, so I just restarted my PC because I loaded too many applications and it caused some problem, maybe memory overloading, and I had problem with the ADB interface because I ran it too many times. Okay, anyway, so once we are done with this interface setting, last time we set the interface for this Volte call scenario. So once it's selected and once we click OK, then the device performs airplane mode on off, and it shows the status here. So device performed airplane mode on first. Then after 10 seconds, it will turn off airplane mode. So you will see necessary signaling in the signaling message window if needed. Finally, when the device gets all the necessary information, in this case, IK, CK, and SIP, these are necessary information for performing a Volte call, or if it is a 5G standalone network, in that case, it is a VoNR call, voice over NR call. So these information are necessary for performing Volte or VoNR call. It's IK, CK, and SIP. So any of these two category are necessary for judging the call events of Volte and VoNR. So during the port opening process, XCAL checks this, and if these are any of these are collected, then you will see this interface as green. See this left corner, port setting or device status, it shows one green. Right? If I click here, you will see that in big screen, and one it is showing as green. So we can start our test now. Right? This is how we interface the device. Now I will go back to the port setting and I will show you another interface template or another interface setting, which is 5GNR QC Smart. This one, 5GNR QC Smart Default. Right? So this one we used more often when we simply want to do some data test, some data call test. For example, if I want to get the LTE or 5G data throughput test KPIs, then I don't need to select this Volte, right? Because with this setting, a lot more packet capture happens, a lot more diagnostic packets are captured, which are very heavy. And for data throughput test, I don't need to worry about the data throughput Volte related packet messages. So in this case, I will select for data throughput test, I will select this 5GNR QC Smart Default. This Smart is basically one of the interface name that we gave for running some Android app on the device. We will see it soon, but before going to that, I want to show what is difference between these two interface setting, these two interface profile. I will go back to that. I will go back to this mobile alias setting. And I will select this 5GNR QC Smart Default. When I select this, I see that chipset settings and phone model, these are same as the Volte specific setting. In case of log mask, there is little difference. In case of log mask, there is little difference, and more log packets are selected in case of Volte. In case of this Smart, less number of log packets are selected. And also the important point for the Smart default is this option, Smart DM interface, it is checked, right? So if we click on this setting here, we will see that there is one TCP port specified here for using the ADB interface. Right? So using the ADB interface, we will control the Android device. We will send some specific ADB commands. We will control the device using this interface, and also we will be running the data test on the device, and this is necessary for that purpose. So this is one difference, and yeah. Now I will go back and I will show you by changing. I will show you the user interface, the parameter windows, after changing this to Smart default profile here. The port settings are same, only differences are in this ADB interface and the log packets that it captures. Okay, now I will reopen the port. Okay. Here. Okay, last time when I selected the Volte specific interface setting, that time it didn't show me this pop-up message, right? This is a mobile alarm. This is a notification, and it is saying that the Android app, which we call XCAL Smart, it is not the most recent one. So you will see this in case the XCAL Smart Android app is not installed on the device, or if you have the XCAL Smart app installed, but if it is not the most recent version. Right, so now we will see how to update it, and after updating the XCAL Smart app, I will show you the parameter windows, message viewers. If I want to update this, if I want to update the XCAL Smart app, I just need to click here. Yes, and it will open this Smart app status window. If I want to open it manually, then I can also click here. This Android logo you see here in the icon bar. There is one Android icon here. If I click here, I will see the same window, right? Maybe I should show you the device screen. It will help to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so if this XCAL application, it also allows you to see the device screen, something called a screencast or a mobile screen live view is also available. And for that, you just need to right click on the device that is currently interfaced and click from the right click menu, you need to click device controller. Okay, so this is the device screen. And here I can see one pop-up message asking me to set one app for sending and receiving SMS, setting the default app for sending and receiving messages. If I select XCAL Smart, then XCAL Smart will be my default app for sending and receiving messages. So I'll set it. And this is your XCAL Smart application that that will be running on the device itself. It will help us to run different type of data call. For example, excuse me. For example, FTP, HTTP, YouTube. These data call will be running on the device, and this XCAL Smart app will facilitate the data call running on the device. So currently the version installed on the device is 4.22.30, and it is showing me this information here. See, the current version on the device is 4.22.30, but this is not the most recent one. Most recent one is probably this one. I can check that also, double check this by clicking here. It will show me the folder where XCAL Smart app are stored. Here, if I set sort it by date, and I'll see the last one is 4.22.33. I just need to click open, and I just need to click execute here to install or update that. It will take a few minutes to install the app. To stop the streaming of this. Okay, I stopped the screencast, and I installation failed, update required. I'm trying to install it again. And I just removed the application and installing the app again. Because this is a development device. There are different type of apps installed, and the interfaces are having some conflict, different because of different type of debugging app installed. Yeah, for your commercial device case, you shouldn't have this problem. Has been installed, and I'm enabling the permissions needed to run. Okay, so it has been updated, and I will show you the screen again. And okay, so this is a pop-up message I can see after I install this app, this XCAL Smart app. And this is asking me to update this XCAL web view. So web view is basically a browser that will help us to run different data call. For example, HTTP web browsing. So this is XCAL's web browser that XCAL will use for opening one website or opening some video. And this needs to be installed and updated. Okay, I will select XCAL Smart as the default default SMS app. And before showing you the screen, I also had to enable some permission. For example, stay on top permission and location permission, storage permission. This needs to be provided to the app for performing different functions. Right. So anyways, we have this XCAL Smart app loaded. Now we can run some data call on the device. Okay, so next. Okay, I have missed one thing here, which is the GPS settings. And I will go back to the port setting here. We have a GPS interface setting here on the right-hand side here. See? So there are different GPS, different type of GPS that we can use. This is NMEA protocol, and most of the USB type GPS, they support this NMEA protocol. And if you have some USB GPS, then you need to install the driver of the GPS. And once you install the driver, you will see the serial port, the COM port related to the GPS. So in that case, you will have a separate USB serial port, right? So in this case, I don't have any GPS connected, and yeah, I cannot see it. In case you have some Bluetooth GPS, even in that case, you will have some virtual serial port. Maybe also it will show you some COM port listed in your device manager, and you can select it from there. Baud rate, flow control are set by default as shown here. But if your GPS user manual specifies otherwise, then you can change it from here. There is time sync option here. If you want to do time sync, currently, I think your test cases doesn't have this time sync option, but there are some test cases where you need to do time sync of XCAL PC to synchronize with some other remote test unit. For example, if you have one mobile to mobile voice test scenario, MOS test scenario, where you have one unit in your office, another unit in the field. In such cases, you have to use some sort of time sync option like NTP. So using NTP, you can time sync between the two PCs, and you can also specify the NTP server here. So these are special use cases. GPS also provides some sort of time sync function. So GPS time sync can also be used if you click GPS. Otherwise, you can just select none. So in this case, there won't be any time syncing. XCAL will only follow the time of your PC. Besides this NMEA type GPS, you can also use the GPS types listed here. You might not be familiar with all these type of GPS. Just remember that NMEA type is the most common one that is supported by the GPS, USB type GPS and Bluetooth type GPS. So probably you will have some USB GPS. In that case, you will be using NMEA type GPS. Besides that, you can also, if you have scanner devices, you can also use the scanners GPS. You can connect maximum 2 scanners, and yeah, you can select the scanner 1 or scanner 2 to use their scanners GPS. And the last GPS type that I want to talk about is this mobile GPS. So our Android mobile also has GPS inside, and there is Android API that reports the GPS information, location information, together with some other useful information like altitude, accuracy of the GPS information. So these can be used as well. And this time I will use this XCAL mobile GPS. But just for your information, this is less accurate compared to the USB GPS. Because normally when we use the USB GPS or Bluetooth GPS, during drive test, we put the GPS antenna on top of the rooftop of the car. So we are exposed to better GPS signal. So yeah, that is more accurate. But the device GPS or Android GPS or Android location API, it provides something called network GPS. That is something that has less accuracy compared to actual GPS information, actual GPS chipset information. Based on the GPS satellite, it provides more accuracy. Today, for this session, I will use this Android GPS. I don't have any USB GPS with me, so yeah, I will use this Android GPS, and I will select this mobile XCAL smart type GPS. I won't use any time sync. I will use my PC's type here, and I will click OK. Reopen the port. I'm installing the WebView app on the mobile. Yeah, it will take maybe 1 minute. Okay, so I reopened the port and now I have the GPS information, latitude and longitude here. If you can see on the status bar, the second information here showing the latitude and longitude. And this is a latitude, longitude showing here. Okay, so we'll move to the next topic here. And next topic is about device control via ADB, AT command, NV read write these. And okay, so I will open the device controller here just to show the device screen. Okay, so the device can be manually controlled. There are many different ways to control the device from XCAL. One way is just open the device controller window. It will show you the device screen. And from here, you can click on the device screen and control the device. This is one way of controlling the device directly from the device screen. Here I can do whatever I want on the device screen. This is pretty simple. And besides that, if I want to, let's say, if I want to control the device using ADB command, there is separate command window here. From the setting menu, to go to device control and click on ADB command. Here, I can write whatever ADB command I want. And if the command is supported, if the command is not restricted, then the commands will be executed and device will respond accordingly. You can also see the device screen. You can also get a screen capture using ADB command. For example, here, if I want to see, if I don't have this ADB device controller screen, which is live streaming, it's not available. If I want to see the device screen, I can check this box. And I can click on screen capture. You see the device screen, right? It's same thing. But it is not live streaming, but yeah, it is also maybe five or 6 years back, we didn't have this live streaming. That time we used to control like this. Anyways, there are different ways to run ADB command. You can click on these buttons, or you can type in the ADB commands here. Visible this. For example, this is one ADB command. If I type in devices and click enter, then I will see that the command has been executed. And this is devices command, ADB devices. If you're familiar with this command, adb.exe, and it's showing the list of devices, right? So this is how you run the ADB commands from this window. You can try some other commands. For example, this flight mode command. I'm using a device with Android version 12 or maybe 13. So if I want to do flight mode on off using this ADB command window, I can use this part because this is for Android version over 4.2.2. So if I close this, if I click on enabled here, I will see that airplane mode is enabled here. Right. So you see here it is disconnected, detached, and the device radio is off. And if I click on disabled, it will enable, will attach to the network. Same way you can control volume, power on off, Wi-Fi on off, same way. Anyways, nothing much to show here. And next type of command that I can show is AT command. So there are a set of AT commands. If you have these AT commands, if you have this modem interface here, it's AT port enabled, then you can run some AT command. For example, this one. So this AT command we executed from here, and the device responded like this. And then maybe to check attach, detach, and run this AT command. Also, these are devices returning some error. For a smartphone, I don't think you're going to need some ATV command, but if you're testing some, I don't know, maybe some IoT device, some development kit, then probably you need to work on this AT command. Some devices may have some restriction to run ATV commands. For example, here, in this device, I think most of the ATV commands are restricted here. I can see it probably from the setting menu of the device. Developer option. See 3GPP AT commands. So if it is not, if it is disabled, then the AT commands won't work. It will always return some error. Anyways, close this. There are some other commands here. For example, Nokia AT commands. We use this something called Nokia NTM device a very long time ago. So we don't need this now. QMICM command, we also used it in some Qualcomm devices a long time back. We don't use it much these days. And others are, other type of commands are not very important here. But I would like to show you another thing which is available in the file menu here. And it is called Qualcomm NV read-write function. If you open this Qualcomm NV read-write function, you will see this window, Qualcomm NV read-write. And this is something that you should be using very carefully, because with this, you'll be directly writing on the device ROM, and it can even cause some permanent damage to the device. In the past, I have damaged calibration of some devices by writing incorrect NV instruction. So if you are not very sure about what this function does, then I recommend you to stick with some very limited NV read-write command. Don't try advanced commands. Don't write something that you are not sure about. And always try to make a backup of the existing NV memory setting. And for making a backup, you can click on this icon here, this button here. And in my case, I will create one backup here, NV flip 4. So it will make a backup of existing settings here. Just for your information, it doesn't cover all the NV items because we don't know all the NV items. We know very limited portion of the NV item that opened in XCAL tool. There might be more NV commands, the more NV instructions. So all are not available here. Right. So anyways, I made a backup here, and I will show you some example. And at the same time, I will keep the device screen open here. Okay. And also for your information, these NV commands might not work on all devices, might not work even as a Qualcomm chipset, different chipset model and different device model might behave different way. So here, this device, I'm having 5G at the moment. Here. I'm not sure if you can see the 5G logo here. So currently my device is having 5G. And if I check these rat lock status, I can click on this read, and it will read the NV instruction that is on the device ROM related to this network lock item. For all NV items, all NV instruction, there is item number. And I think it is a little difficult for you if you don't know what is QXTM. QXTM is a Qualcomm specific tool. So this item number matches with that QXTM tool, right? So this item has the NV value set as 92. And under this, you should have this 5GNR, LT, WCDM, and GSM. You should have auto selection of these 5GNR, LT, WCDM, and GSM. Currently, it's set as this. Okay, and if your device is having multiple chipset, then it is another thing we need to consider. In that case, we need to define the SIM index as well. But in our case, my device is having 2 SIM, but still I'll be using only 1 SIM. So I will just uncheck this. Anyways, it is also related to the serial port, the COM ports here. So if you see that you are not able to read the instruction using this COM port, then just change the COM port to the different one, other one. Click OK. Click read here, and yeah, you will see if it returns success. If it doesn't return success, then change, read it. Right. So in this case, my COM port 4 is returning the NV command related response. I'll show you one example here. From 92, I will try to change the value to maybe, let's see, this one, WCD only. I'm not sure if it will work on this device, but yeah, let me try. And I will write this.
Excuse me, Farabi.
Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry for interfere. Because one of our team, they could not catch up this point. So can we just review it again and go slowly?
Sure. And if you have some specific question regarding this, you can also write it in the chat box or tell me. Yeah, if you have any specific question. Okay, I will try to explain it one more time. And
okay, we will drop the question that we don't understand in chat box, and then after the end, you can summarize or answer that question with her. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's also fine. It's up to you. I'm okay with both. You can ask, we can talk about it now, or if you want to drop a message, and if you want me to come back later on, we can do both. Yeah.
Okay, now you review this again and then go slowly. And however, we will drop the question for you to make clear.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so here, okay, so close please, and okay, this window, you can access it from the file menu, as I showed before. And from the file menu, if you click on this Qualcomm NV read write, you will see this window, right? And this is only for Qualcomm chipset based devices. It won't work on a device which is having maybe Exynos chipset or Huawei high silicon chipset or MediaTek chipset. It won't work. It will only work with a Qualcomm chipset based device, right? So make sure your device is having Qualcomm chipset before working with this Qualcomm NV read write. Okay, and this Qualcomm NV read write, it is basically reading and writing instruction directly on device ROM, and this NV means a non-volatile memory. It is on the device, and you are writing and reading some instruction on that part of the memory when you are using this NV read and write, right? So when you want to read the existing setting, you click on read, and when you want to write some instruction, you select that instruction and click on write, right? So the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, these are very user-friendly because you don't need to write any, you don't need to write the instruction manually. You just you just check box. You just select the boxes here, and you sometimes write this information here. Write some information on these boxes. But the last one here is flexible NV item. but it's not very easy. It is very advanced level in the read-write function. So for now, I advise you to stick with the very common NV read-write item. In this case, the values are sometimes maybe you need to write manually here, this input field. So for now, please stick with the options that you easily understand or you are sure about what it does. For example, this RAT lock, I think you are aware of this RAT. RAT stands for Radio Access Technology, right? So here we can do some network locking. If my device support this NV function, then I can check this box and select that technology that I want to lock into. If my device supports this, then it will work. So I'm going to try this WCDMA RAT lock here. And for that, first I clicked on read, then I clicked this WCDMA only. And let me open my device screen as well. I open my device screen and here I selected WCDMA only. Then I clicked on write. One more time here. Now I will manually reboot the device. Just rebooted the device. Yeah, please give it 1 minute. Maybe you'll see the device screen again after the device boots up. The device booted up, I will reopen the device controller window. And I will read it. It changed back to 92. So in this case, it didn't work. The network locking didn't work here. And next thing I can try is, because my device has 2 SIM cards, so next thing I can do is to change the SIM index. Set it to WCDMA again. For this one, set it to WCDMA. Now we'll reboot the device one more time. The device booted up and it didn't work. So I can confirm this by using the read function here. It changed back to 92 for SIM index 1. Still WCDMA. So it didn't work. That is the conclusion. So device might not work on this, right? So you can try to change the options. In my case, I have dual SIM device. I have one eSIM and one physical SIM. So I changed 2 SIM cards already. Switch between the SIM card. I tried to lock this option, but it didn't work because I can see the device is still in 5G here. Device still in 5G. I have 2 SIM cards. Anyways, it is managed by the device vendor. They can allow it. They might not allow on some models. Right. So this is one of the function that you can try. But yeah, before trying this function, always make a backup. And once you're done with testing this, please restore using the backup, right? So if you want to restore, then click here, use this. You can also, if you're trying to do network lock now, you can also try to set this option, because a little older model than Galaxy Flip 4, you can use these options as well. We set WCDMA only in both cases, WCDMA only and WCDMA only. Both cases set WCDMA only, then try again. You can also try 2G on your device here. So this is also something that you can try. The same way you can try band locking here, but these options are for development purpose. Usually, device developer or device verification team, they use this function for testing device, for certifying or verifying a device. There is limited use case for this NV read-write based locking function for network optimization. There are easier way for doing this for network optimization purpose. For example, some device will have this menu here, network mode selector here under mobile network. From there, you can select the network type directly on the device. So in such case, you don't need to use this NVRAID drive. I will try to use another option with this one more time. SIM index 0, SIM index 1. And every time you need to restart the device manually. There are some old Samsung devices that has some network locking function on the device. To access that network locking function, you can use this network setting with hidden, this function. So this function works on the devices with software released before June 2022. If your device software is older than that, then you can use this. This didn't work. So I will check if my device support this, and my device software is very new, so it won't work, I guess, but I will try. No, it doesn't work. I think I can see the response from the device from this ADB command window. We'll open this and send this command. If your device is having old version, then it might work. But in my case, it didn't work. Right? Anyways, I'll move to the next topic. And if you have any question regarding this, please let me know. You can write the chat box, or you can send me email, or you can ask now if you want. It's up to you.
Hello, Fabi.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. Do you have any way to log the order? I mean, we can log on the software, right? We want to log band.
For band locking?
Anyway, can we log without use the software?
Band locking is also available under this NVRAID, right? I will open this window and Are you talking about LTE band lock or 5G band lock, LTE band lock, GSM, WCDMA?
And you can show me the how to lock the LTE only and slowly.
Okay, so under this Qualcomm NV read write version 2, if you open this window, you will see this LTE band lock option here. If you want to know what bands are currently supported, then just need to click read. So this is the device hardware configuration. Your device hardware configuration will be shown here. And if you want to lock to some specific band, then you can maybe unselect all and select only the band that you want to lock into. Right? Select that and click on right. This way you can do band locking. For in this case, it is LTE. So yeah, this is how I can do LTE band locking. But again, it can be blocked by the device manufacturer. So I cannot 100% guarantee that it will work. Right? But if you are trying to do band locking on some specific device, I can help you to check if band locking can be supported on the device. Yeah. Have I answered your question?
We cannot, we still cannot do it.
What device you are using? What is the device model? Your device?
Hello, Farbi.
Yes, please go ahead.
What he want to ask is that even though we use this interface, we cannot lock the band.
Okay, I can.
At the moment.
Okay, so you're using some Samsung device, I guess.
Yes.
With Qualcomm chipset.
Qualcomm chipset.
Yes.
Okay, maybe I can have remote access and check it later on.
Okay. Yes.
That your device can support band lock. I can check it.
And that's why he asked if we have like something application on the smartphone to, to lock the band instead of this way.
Yeah, there was one application, but Samsung blocked it as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There was some Samsung's own application to do band locking, but Samsung blocked it. So now if we want to access that band locking app, then we need to make a custom kernel.
No, not such that, but maybe you can try to remote later.
Yeah, I will remote access and check if it is possible to do band lock using NV command.
Yes.
Okay, I can have a separate remote session for that later on, just to check that device.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, so okay, I'll move to next topic. Okay, in the past, I had training session with some educational institutes, and I found that they have more interest to see how XCAL can help them to do protocol analysis. For example, some of them were involved in some protocol related courses where they were studying RRC protocol, or some of them they were studying the random access process. So in this topic, I will try to cover that as well. I will try to show you how you can study the signaling, the layer 3 signaling to be specific, what windows can be used, what parameters you can look for, what parameter windows are available for a Qualcomm chipset. So once we interface a device, based on the device chipset and the license option that you have, you will have these supported KPI box, this one populated based on your license options and your chipset. Right. I will try to explain all of these groups separately here. So there are too many windows here. You don't need all of them. You can. I will show you some useful ones for your study purpose. Okay, the first one here is the signaling message window. I'm pretty sure that you're going to find it useful, because using this window, you can see the layer 3 signaling between the base station and the device. And currently, it is showing you a lot of messages, and mainly device is receiving paging from the nearest base station, the serving cell now. And we see all the paging messages here. See the paging messages we are receiving from the serving cell here, which is having PCI 51 and 2600 megahertz frequency. And if we scroll up, we will see maybe use this pause button to pause and scroll up here. And we can see some measurement reports sent from the device. It also shows the channel and the direction here. You can see, right? This is uplink channel used DCCH by the device to report, to send this measurement report to the base station. Right? Such measurement reports can also be used for maybe for some handover or cell reselection. So you can find all these signaling messages here. You can also see the random access results here. I'm not sure if you're familiar with LTE or 5G random access process, but yeah, this is at the very initial stage when device wants to start communication with a cell. It has to go through that random access process. It is like saying hello to device saying hello to a new cell. And you can see those random access messages here as well. So this is 5G random access message here. And this is 5G NR MAC-RETCH trigger UL data arrival. So in this message, you can see information related to the first random access attempt by the device. And you can also see message 1 here. you know, the random access process, it has message 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is information from the random access message 1 here, you can see, right? So this window can be used for these layer 3 protocol analysis for LTE, 5G NR, WCDMA, and also for GSM. So besides this layer 3 signaling viewer, we also have some parameter window or information element window for showing some parameter or information element from these windows, and those messages, those windows are under this layer 3 KPI. I will show you some example. Let me resume it first. Okay, I will show you one example of one of the parameter window. It can be very useful if you are analyzing the UE capability information from device to the system. I'll show you example of LTE UE capability. First, I will do detach, turning on airplane mode on, and clear these messages. And attach, and pause it here. So you see as the initial attach, as part of the initial attach, we can see that at some point the UE had to report its capability to the base station, to the serving cell here. And we're looking at this LTE UE capability, uplink DCCH message here. And the message is so long that XCAL cannot even process it on real-time basis. So we have to click on decode here. Now the message has been decoded, right? You see how long the message is? It is a very long message. Anyways, to extract the information, you need to go through the whole message and pick messages, the information element one by one. You can also use some Excel macro to capture and I don't know, to organize maybe and highlight the required messages. But it is a very slow way, very time-consuming way to do the work. Right? But in this case, I have XCAL, and also I have this UE capability window. And once I have done the detach attach, as soon as the message has been sent and decoded, I can see the key information It is very well organized, and it can give me a quick view of the capability that device is having, right? So if I want to see the same information, I have to go through the very long message, and I don't know, maybe it will take more than 1 hour to get all this information if I do the whole thing manually, right? So this is how these layer 3 KPI windows can help. This is a very good example because this message is very long, and you can save a lot of time by referring to this layer 3 message window, right? So anyways, I'll go back to this parameter window group called signaling message. So all the layer 3 messages you can find here. Besides, if you're doing volte call, you can see the SIP messages as well with your layer 3 message, which is more like your application layer, right? So you can have that as well. But sometimes it's very important to have your SIP messages analyzed together with your layer 3 messages. Sometimes you have to understand whether SIP register happened during the attach process, whether SIP register happened properly or not. So in such cases, you need to see your layer 3 RRC messages, NAS messages, and also your SIP register messages. Okay, besides these, you might need another message window, packet capture viewer, and packet modem capture viewer. Anyone has experience using Wireshark? May I know if anyone is having experience using Wireshark? No, no one? Okay, so Wireshark is this is also a protocol analyzer, most commonly used for TCP/IP packet analysis. So this packet capture viewer, packet modem messages, these are more like how you analyze the TCP/IP packets in Wireshark. So if you enable this packet capture, in case of this Qualcomm device that we're using, if we use the volte profile, then we will have the packet messages, or we can also use this Android TCP dump. Let me try to add this one. Reopening the port, because I just enabled packet capture, and there is a message because we will be doing virtual packet capture. This is it will create a VPN on the device to help us capture the packets. Okay, I just did some data activity on the device, so I can see the packet messages captured, right? I can see the source IP, destination IP, type of IP, whether it's IPv4 or IPv6. You can see the timestamp. I can see the protocol type, and I can see the details, little detail, not full here. I can see the info column, and I can also see the complete message. I select a message and go to the detail part of the window. I can see the message here. So this is another way of TCP/IP protocol analysis. And packet modem, you will see it in a different different method of packet capture. Right. So this is Android packet capture. We call these XCAL VPCAP. You will see it's also installed on your device, and you also have something that is reported by the chipset itself. So in such cases, the modem or chipset will report the packet messages on this window, but it will also have a similar format. Okay, so this is what the messages are, signaling message. You will see your layer 3 RRC, NAS, random access, and SIP messages as well. You will have your packet messages, these windows, FTP control message, not very important, but sometimes if you want to see FTP control messages to see whether whether FTP signaling is happening properly. Let's say you're trying to do some FTP call and for some reason it's failing again and again. Maybe you need to look at the FTP signaling to see where the call is failing. From the TCP layer, maybe you can see whether it has some failing reason due to wrong credential, or whether the hard drive of the FTP server is full. The problems like this can be identified. Okay, and this window shows maybe this is a subset of this packet message window. So it shows you the HTTP and SIP messages. This is a filtered view of these all messages. It filtered the HTTP and SIP messages. AirPCAP we don't need. PPP frame we don't need now. LCS, LBS is useless. And alarm event manager. I think we don't need it now because we didn't activate any alarm. So yeah, we don't need it now. Okay, so I think you'll be using this signaling message window and packet capture viewer more often. So close these HTTP. Now I will move to the layer 3 KPI. I have given you an example already, and we'll show you some more example, few more example. For example, this it won't have any value because some windows are populated when we have some specific network environment. For example, this one will show you the 5G NR master information block when we have 5G SA. 5G SA seed message system information block. Maybe I can show you this 5G SA. Maybe LT. Okay, let's see some LT message. All window. I'll open this. Also, device controller. And so once the system information block 1 is decoded, this window is showing all information related to the system information block 1, right? So this is how it works. This is another example. Not sure if I can show you 5G information. I will detach, attach one more time. Detach and attach. So this is showing the 5G NR RRC status. So you can see the status changing from after the attach. The initial attach happened via LTE. So we see LTE RRC connected first. Then we see ENDC RRC connect. Right? We don't see the ENDC RRC status connected right away, because in this ENDC environment, the signaling is happening via the LTE node or the LTE layer. So this is another example, also based on the layer 3 message. 5G SIB, I think it won't have any value. It will have in 5G SA environment. Our environment is NSA. Sorry. So even though it shows 5G, we don't have any value here, because it's a 5G SA network that broadcasts these messages. Master information block and system information block. In this case, we should have some value here. SCG mobility statistics. So in case of this 5G NSA type ENDC network, we won't see direct handover. We won't see, we will see this 5G NR type handover mainly in 5G SA type network. In NSA type network, we call these mobility events in a different way, little different way, because here there is a master node LTE and the 5G handover. That's why it's having a little different name. So we have this 5G SCG modification event instead of handover. Let's say if some handover like event happened in NSA network from one 5G cell to another 5G cell, it will be counted under this table here, which is named here as 5G NR SCG modification NR to NR. Then if you're entering to a 5G serving area, a 5G cell serving area, while you're having LTE connection, you will have this NRSCG addition counter, right? In this case, you will just have one LTE cell added to your existing LTE connection. NR cell will be added. So in our case, we have in our 5G NSA ENDC type. So we have these NRSCG addition every time, right? I will do airplane mode on and airplane mode off. And you see it, the counter changed, right? We see it was 3 before the attempt, and now it's 4. It's also showing some KPI related to that. So this is the time or the latency, some useful indicator. So for these NRSCG addition, this is average duration, average time taken to do this NRSCG addition. The last one here is NRSCG release or NRSCG or NR2LT event, mobility event. Here, this happens when you move away from one 5G cells area. You will start losing the signal strength from the 5G cell, and at some point you have these NRSCG release event, right? Or NR2LT mobility event. So these are based on the layer 3 signaling, as I think you understood this. And same way, we have some more parameter window for NAS messages or NAS statistics. This one shows LT attached detached information. See, there are 4 detached requests, 4 attached requests, and 4 attached accept, 4 attached complete, and 4 PDN connection happened. So yeah, can be very useful. Okay, I think we need to end this session. We will continue tomorrow. And if you have any question, please send us email.
Qua trong cả chào ai trong hai trăm còn đó ta thằng ở trong là con lộc bé nó con ngủ
the remote session when you have time.
Sorry, Dr. Taran, we couldn't hear you properly.
Okay, I'm asking about the remote session.
Remote session for checking the device, right?
Yes.
Maybe tomorrow we can start a little early.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll start maybe 30 minutes in advance, and we'll check the device first. Then we will continue this session.
All right, I will prepare. Yeah.
In advance, it should be our
12:30.
lunchtime.
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So
I think yeah. Today we can end our session.
yeah, I'm not sure how helpful it is for the attendees. I'm not sure if I could explain well, but don't hesitate to send us your questions, whatever questions you have. We will try to answer them by email or tomorrow during the session. Yeah, and yeah, thanks for your patience, and I will pass it to Carl then.
Thanks for all attendees and Taran as well as sharing your times, and we will continue the session tomorrow. And as probably shared that if you guys have any questions or any requests during the sessions, please don't hesitate and let us know.
Okay, Carl. Thank you very much. Have a good time.
Okay, good time. Bye.